Okay, welcome back guys. In today's video we are going to solve question 4 on grade 12 functions. Okay, so you need the knowledge on exponential functions so that you can solve this question. So the question is question 4 from DBE from paper 1, and the question is from May-June 2022 past exam paper. Okay, so this is the question 4. You can see you have how many questions? You have 3 questions. Okay, so you have 2 sub question on question 4.3. You can see 2 sub question on 4.3. Okay, in total you have how many questions? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's start on the next slide. So you need the knowledge on exponential functions so that you can solve these questions. Okay, let me start on the next slide. Okay, let me get the question again. So it's question 4 from May-June 2022. So this is the question. Let's have it here. Okay, so 4.1. Let's start from the beginning. Question 4. The graph of g of x is equal to a, in bracket you have 1 over 3 to the power of x plus 7. And the graph passes through point E, and you have the coordinate of point E. Okay, so the graph of g of x passes through point E. Now, question 4.1, calculate the value of A. The question is 3 marks. We need to calculate the value of A. Okay, so this is g of x that you are given. G of x is equal to this. Okay, you are given it. Now you need to find what? The value of A. Okay, and to find the value of A, we are going to use a point on the graph. So there is a point E which is on the graph of G, because the question says the graph of G of x passes through point E. So you understand that point E is on G of x. So we are going to use this point to calculate A. Okay, so the point E with this coordinate, the coordinates are given. E is a point on G. So the point E is on G. Okay, so this is your x coordinate and this is your y coordinate. You know that. Okay, so now let's use this point to calculate what? A. Okay, so your g of x is your y. Let's replace it with 10. Remember, the second coordinate is your y. So you have 10 there, which is equal to, you have A, and then you have 1 over 3 to the power of what? X. So your x is negative 2. So you replace your x with negative 2. So to the power of negative 2. Okay, and then plus 7. Okay, so you can see I have used this point. There's my x, this is my y. Okay, so your y is your g of x, you replace it, and the first coordinate negative 2 is your x, you replace it there. You can see. Okay, now we can calculate for A. Okay, now you have 10 there, which is equal to, you have A, and this you can raise it to the power of negative 1. Remember, negative 2 is equal to 2 times negative 1. Let me say that again. Negative 2 is equal to 2 times negative 1. So I can raise this only to the power of negative 1 and remain with only 2 to the exponent. So when I raise this to the power of negative 1, it becomes 3 over 1. So it will be like this. 3 over 1 and then to the power of 2. So instead of 1 over 3, now you have 3 over 1. So when you raise to the power of negative 1, this is what you get. And then you only remain with 2 to the exponent. Okay, so it's plus 7, right? And then now you take plus 7 to the other side, it becomes minus 7. So you have 10 minus 7, it is 3. And this is equal to, and what is this? 3 over 1, it's 3. To the power of 2 is 9. So 3 to the power of 2 is 9. So 9a. Okay, 9a. And then now what you want to do is to divide by 9 on both sides so that you can get your A. When you divide by 9, you get A, which is equal to 3 over 9. So you are dividing by 9 on both sides. This is what you get. And so A is equal to 1 over 3. when you simplify by 3. So this is the value of a, which is 1 over 3. Okay, so now the next question, 4.2, calculate the coordinate of the y-intercept of g. You need to calculate the y-intercept of g. Okay, let me put this question there. Okay, let me do this. Let me close it for now. And let me put a line here. And then I'll start my 4.2 there. Okay, we need to get what? The y-intercept. So to get the y-intercept, what you do is you let x equal to 0. So you make x equal to 0. Okay, so g of x is this, right? Remember, I have replaced my a with 1 over 3 because we calculated a. There's my a is replaced with 1 over 3. So this is g of x. We need to get what? The y-intercept of this graph. Okay, so to get the y-intercept, you let x equal to 0. Okay, and so let's get it. Remember, this is your y. So y is equal to, you have 1 over 3 there, times 1 over 3 to the power of x. So now you replace your x with 0 because you are making x 0 to get the y-intercept. So you replace x with 0 and then plus 7. Okay, and so y is equal to, you have 1 over 3 times, this is 1. So anything to the power of 0 is equal to 1. So you have 1 times 1 over 3, which is 1 over 3, and then plus 7. Okay, and so y is equal to, you have 7 times 3, which is 21, 21 plus 1, which is 22. So y is equal to 22 over 3. That is 22 over 3. And so the coordinate of the y-intercept are 0 and 22 over 3. Remember, the first coordinate is always your x and the second coordinate is always your y. So this is how you write. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Let's do it on the next slide. Okay, now it's question 4.3. Let me get the question again. This is the question 4 from May, June 2022. Okay. So what is the question saying? 4.3, consider h of x is equal to this 1 over 3 to the power of x. 4.3.1, describe the translation from g to h. Okay. 4.3.1, you need to describe the translation from g to h. So from g to h, you need to describe the translation. Okay, from g to h. Okay, what is the equation for g of x? You are given it, there it is. So g of x is equal to this. You can see the value of a is 1 over 3. So I have replaced a by 1 over 3. We calculated it in 4.1. We need to describe the translation from this graph to the graph of what? Of h. What is the equation for h? It's given there. Consider h of x is equal to this. So h of x is equal to this. Okay, let me close this. So g of x is equal to, can you see you have 1 over 3, 1 over 3. And this 1 over 3 is to the power of 1. I hope you can see that there is an invisible exponent. This 1 over 3 is to the power of 1. So when the bases are the same, you can write it as 1 over 3 to the power of what? X plus 1. You add your exponent. So it's x plus 1. Okay? When the bases are the same. So you have 1 over 3 there and 1 over 3 there. What you do is you add your exponent. This is according to the law of exponent. Okay? And then plus 7. So this is what? G of x. So you want to describe the translation from g to h. What is h of x? It is this. We still have it there. Okay? And so let's see how h of x was obtained from g of x. Okay, we want to see that h of x was obtained from g of x like this. This is g of x. You can see there's 1 over 3, 1 over 3 to the power of x plus 1, x plus 1 plus 7 plus 7. Okay, let's see how h of x was obtained from this to get this. Okay, you can see in the exponent you only have x, but here you have x plus 1. So you need to get rid of the 1. What are you going to do? You are going to minus 1, and this will give you 0. You only remain with what? X in the exponent, like that. Okay, you also have plus 7 there, but there is no plus 7 there, so you need to get rid of this. How can you do that? You are going to subtract 7. So it's 7 minus 7, it's 0, and so you end up with 1 over 3 to the power of x, like this. So this is how h of x is obtained from g of x. So you can see the translation in red. Now remember, for exponential functions, what we have in the exponent there, what does it do? This shift or translate the graph horizontally, so along the x-axis. So it can be left or to the right. This, what is down there, translate the graph vertically, so along the y-axis. So it can be upward or downward. Okay, so when you have -1 in the exponent, you do the opposite. So it will be to the right, because you know normally negative goes with left and positive goes with right. But when you have negative in the exponent, when you are dealing with exponential function, when you have negative in the exponent, you do the opposite. It will be to the right. When it's negative, to the right. So it will be 1 unit to the right. And this, what you do, you only look at what you have there. So it will be 7 units downward. When it's negative, it's downward. When it's positive, it's upward. So this is 7 units downward, and this is 1 unit to the right. Remember, you do the opposite in the exponent. And so the graph of g is translated by 1 unit to the right, 1 unit to the right, and 7 units downward to obtain what? H. So g is translated by 1 unit to the right and 7 units downward. Okay, let's do the next question. So 4.3, now it's 4.3.2. Let me get the question again. Okay, so 4.3.2, determine the equation of the inverse of h in the form y is equal to. So you have h of x there. You need to determine what? The inverse of h in the form y is equal to. Okay, so h of x is given. This is h of x. It's given there. So first of all, you have to change this h of x to y. Remember, this is your y. So y is equal to this. Okay, and then now to get the inverse of h, you need to swap around your x and your y. So you have y there, you're going to have x is equal to 1 over 3 to the power of y. You can see I have exchanged my x and y. This is how you go about getting what? The inverse of a function. Okay, and so now remember, you are dealing with exponential function, exponential equation. To make y the subject of the formula, what you need to do is to introduce log on both sides, because you are dealing with exponential equations. So you are going to introduce log this side. It will be log of x is equal to log of this. Okay, so you introduce log on both sides. Okay, and so this is log of x is equal to, you drop your exponent down and then you multiply it by log of 1 over 3. So it's y, you drop that exponent, you multiply it by log of 1 over 3. Okay, and so what you want to do, now you want to divide this side by log of 1 over 3 and also this side by log of 1 over 3, so that you can make y the subject of the formula. Okay, when you divide this side by log of 1 over 3, you get what? Y. Okay, you divide by log of 1 over 3. You only remain with y, which is equal to, you have this, you also divide it by log of 1 over 3. Okay, so you divide by log of 1 over 3 on both sides. This is what you get. Okay, and so y is equal to, you have log of x to base 1 over 3. Okay, this is how you write it. And so this is the final answer, but you can get this final answer in another form. Okay, let me show you. So let me say, or let's do it here. Let me close this. Let's say you start from this step. So you have log of x is equal to y log of, instead of 1 over 3, you now have 3 to the power of negative 1. Remember, this is the same as 1 over 3. Okay, instead of log of 1 over 3, you have log of 3 to the power of negative 1. Okay, and so this is going to be log x is equal to, you drop the exponent there, negative 1, you drop it down, and then you multiply it by this. So it will be negative y log of 3. You can see the negative 1, you drop it, and then you multiply it. Okay, so this is what you get. And then now what you want to do is to divide by negative log of 3. Negative log of 3, so that you can make y the subject of the formula. So you are going to divide by negative log of 3 on both sides. When you divide by negative log of 3, you get what? Y, this side, which is equal to log of x over negative log of 3. You can see negative log of 3. Okay, so negative log of 3, you divide by negative log of 3, you only remain with y. You do the same this side, there is negative log of 3. And so y is equal to negative log of x to base 3. Can you see log of x to base 3? You write it like this. There's the negative. Okay, so you can give the answer like this or like this. This is right and this is also right. Okay, we are done with question 4 from May-June 2022. Okay, if you find some value in this video, please don't forget to like the video and put your comment in the comment section. If you want to be part of this channel, don't forget to subscribe and activate the notification bell so that you can have these videos coming your way. We are done for now. See you next time and take care of yourself.